Hi and welcome to Easy Fishing. Well, first and foremost, I hope you're all keeping safe and well, and long may it continue that way until we get through this pretty awful period that we're all getting through, being confined to home, not able to go out only for essential, you know the scenario. So today this video is going to be called YouTube fishing. Why? Well, it's quite simple really. YouTube is a fountain of knowledge and it's free. Now, as far as we're concerned, I'm talking about fishing, though YouTube has got videos on just about every subject under the sun. So if you want to find somebody's view of how to do something, have a look at YouTube. And I must admit, I watch YouTube far more than I do the TV, because the TV programs, in my opinion, are mostly rubbish. But other people will think differently. For instance, they will love their soaps, you know, EastEnders, Corrie, whatever. I don't watch that kind of stuff. I like informative documentaries, for which there's never enough for me. So anyway, I hope you're using your time wisely and doing your tackle maintenance, which is a subject I will be covering. But the main thing today is YouTube, and what can we get from it? Well, first of all, YouTube covers just about every type of fishing known, from big game, saltwater, from the boat, from the shore, both in the UK and abroad. In the UK we also have a huge match fishing thing, and generally all kinds of fishing, from big fish, carp, tench, whatever, to catching small fish. Now, who do I watch? Jamie Hughes and Andy May I love. I love their humour and I love their knowledge. Who else? John Arthur, Jamie Harrison, Andy Power, Des Ship, Martin Bowler, very definitely, Alan Scotthorne, and anybody else who I think I can learn from, which is most of them. Now, Catch More Media, run by Tom, and I can't remember his surname. Sorry Tom if you're watching this. I was watching him this morning interviewing Jamie Hughes, and it was a brilliant interview, probably one of the best he's done. And Jamie was running through lots of things, not techniques, but just explaining how he fished, that he did his own thing. He didn't follow the pack, he fished the way he felt comfortable with, much like I do. Now, a lot of people write me off because I'm not sitting on an expensive seat box in sponsors' clothing with a 16-metre flagship pole, but that doesn't mean I can't fish, because I can. I can fish the long pole, I just don't do it on my videos, because for me to sit there with, you know, an expensive long pole and all the paraphernalia that goes with it is alien to a lot of people, and not attractive. But I do push the short pole being up to about 9 metres, because I think that is a weapon that everybody should have. And being short, you don't need 2 double rollers and you don't need a load of gear. You just need the pole and some various little bits and pieces. You don't even need a separate cupping kit. You can get by, I've shown on my videos, with, I think they call it a Preston's, I think they call it a mega pot. Basically it's the size of a feeding cup that you would normally have on a cupping kit, but you can clip it on and off to your pole, so it's very good. So you don't even have to have a separate cupping kit. You don't need masses of top kits, though. The more you have, the more versatile it becomes and the more species of fish you can fish for. And I only promote lower range poles that the spares are cheap. For instance, my Drennan Red range, the top kits are less than £30. The MIDI Muscle Tech, ditto, though to get the full length on that you have to buy a top 3, so they'll probably work out at about £40 by the time you bought the 3 sections. They don't quote me on that. I did a lot of videos with a really ancient Shakespeare pole, which I've since sold on to someone with loads of top kits. They got a bargain. And the other one I had, I gave to someone who wanted to try pole fishing, and they're very happy with it as well. So while you've got the time to watch all these subjects on YouTube, you should do so. It is a golden opportunity to go back to school, if you like, and learn. And some of the things you learn will really open your eyes. Alan Scottle, for example, his attention to detail is fantastic. And alright, you normally see him wielding a flagship pole at long lengths and half a dozen top kits, but the knowledge is there and you don't have to do that. I watched a very good one on YouTube the other day, done by Preston Innovations, probably filmed by Joe. Hi Joe, if that was you filming it, was great. And it started off with Des Shep on commercials, and Des made a very good point, one a lot of people have missed, and he said you don't have to fish at 16 metres in the open water, you don't have to fish at 13, there can be 11 metres, 10 metres, 9 metres, whatever. Don't think that all fish swim at 13 metres, because they do not. In fact, quite often, if you go to a water where everybody fishes at 13 metres and fish shorter, you might well find the fish are there. You know, they could be at 8, 9, 10 metres, because the carp learn, and they very quickly learn that feeding at that distance from the bank means you get caught. The rest of the video featured Andy Finley on the method feeder, or as it's commonly known, the fin. Now Andy was the guy that popularised the method feeder. I'm not saying he invented it, but he certainly brought out his own versions. And there has been a video of that he did with Joe Carras explaining the evolution of the method feeder as he fishes it. And in the early days, my 2 commercial venues that I fished were Castle Ashby, because it was fairly close to where I lived, it was about 40 minutes journey, and Makins. Now I learnt a lot about commercial fishing at Makins, went on to win a 50 peg match there on the method feeder and the pole close in, from what I'd learnt from reading magazine articles, because YouTube wasn't about then, but I always was and always will be an avid reader of the angling press. And I remember reading Andy Finley and watching his articles as he just took waters apart, and he still does. And his method tactics are very simple, but they are refined in a few important areas. So I would recommend everybody, if you fish commercials, have a look at that video. It also featured Matty Dawes and another young lad who's Jordan Holland, that's it, I think that's his name. If I've got it wrong, I apologise. And they were fishing, I think, Tunnel Barn for F1s, one with pellets, one with maggots. Now that's not really my boat, and it probably isn't for a lot of people, but if you're interested, it's worth a look. And they finished up with Lee Kerry on margin fishing, and there was a wealth of knowledge there for everybody, and it's all free. Don't skip these videos, watch them intently, because it's so easy to miss some important bits. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups. Now going back to Jamie, I have learnt so much from him. Now I'm a fairly competent angler in the first place, but what I've learnt from Jamie Hughes has lifted my knowledge to another level. And as soon as this crisis is over and I can get on the commercials, I will go out there, film it and put some of it into practice. But I will also be on commercials showing you how to tackle them with just running line tactics and how to tackle them with a short pole. And the big lesson there is that you don't need to have a long pole to fish commercials. Yes, if you fish snake lakes that are 13 and 14 and a half meters wide, a long pole does make it easier as long as the weather is good. But if the weather's bad, I'll show you a method that's been shown loads of times but hardly ever used, and that's a small feeder or straight lead to the far bank, and it's very, very successful. Just yesterday I watched Jamie Hughes again underarming a very small feeder, and I think it was on tunnel bottom, but I can't swear to it, and if you weren't Jamie I apologise. Very eye-opening. And the sort of commercial fishing that I do that sort of thing a lot when I'm on commercials. Short range feeder, and it can be deadly. It can be as good as the pole and much better in bad conditions, because in bad conditions, when you've got a strong wind blowing, you cannot fish the long pole successfully. It's just control goes out the window. So there was another one for you to watch. Jamie Harrison, I love watching his feeder videos. Now I don't do it so much on video, but I do have a couple of tricks about feeder fishing myself. In fact, I've just seen one come up this morning called Jamie Harrison's Views Go With Mine, and if not, is there something I can learn from him? So there you are. Get out there and watch YouTube. Alright, you're probably going to have to watch it on your computer or your iPad or whatever. It's better than watching on a phone. I found, incidentally, I had a burglary the other day. They got one of my cameras, my iPad and headphones and my wallet. So I'm kind of up Queer Street at the moment. Losing the camera and the iPad really bugged me. The wallet, the only reason it bugged me was not because it had money in it, but because it had irreplaceable photos of my daughter in it from when she was born. So that's probably been tossed in some ditch somewhere. Thank you to the lowlifes who did that. Incidentally, fingerprint dusters are right so-and-so to get off. Takes ages, because I had Socko around fingerprinting everything. They got a boot print, but I don't know if that'll help. Anyway, so settle yourself down, get a cup of tea. If necessary, get a notepad and a pencil if it helps you. Watch these videos and take notes. Now, most videos you see on YouTube for UK fishing are completely different to what I do. I specialise in small stream tactics. Now, there's only one other guy, Mark Erdwin, whose channel is called Fishing for Memories, and I really rate him. He fishes some very nice streams, catches some super fish, and he uses very similar tackle to me. Short rods, reasonably strength tackle, simple fishing, moving from place to place. He catches a lot of big fish, so he's well worth a look at. If you're in, he's virtually the only other one I think that sort of specialises in small stream fishing. Now, I do lots of other kind of fishing. I fish the canals, I fish the rivers, big and small. I fish still waters. And to be honest, people say, why don't you video them? Basically, I haven't always got time. I've had some changes in my domestic circumstances, and this is forcing another one on me in so much that I can't go out. But hopefully when all this is over, my wife is getting help now, so she won't have to rely on me running backwards and forwards to help her. But we will have to see what that brings. So in the meantime, grit your teeth, watch plenty of YouTube and learn from it, and hopefully you'll carry on watching me. So until next time, sidelines.